What is up, guys? I'm Cobble13, and today we're going to talk about why Call of Duty isn't fun to you, or how to win more at Call of Duty. And to me, these two things kind of overlap, and they kind of tie in together. So no one really likes to lose, and nobody wants to lose. Even if you're just joining a game for fun, you don't want to sit there and be down 75-30 in a team deathmatch game, because it's just not fun. Even if you're playing well, the gameplay you're going to see here, I'm using the IMR with a red dot, and you're going to see me, I played pretty well, but our teammates ended up quitting out, and so we were playing 4-on-6, and it was pretty ridiculous. Sorry, my dog's squeaking his toy, so it might have been a little bit loud in the mic there, but so here I'm just going to talk about some tips and just talk about, in general, just kind of to enlighten and bring out some facts that everybody kind of knows but doesn't implement in their gameplay. So it's not fun to lose, and when you start losing, you get negative. Let's face it, everybody gets negative. You either just slouch in your chair and you don't try as much, or you start smack talking your teammates and tell them they suck, or you switch classes and start sniping or something. You know, it makes the game not fun when people get negative and get down on their teammate. And I understand it's totally normal to do this. I do this, you know, you either having a bad game and you get negative, and as soon as you get extra negative, or maybe you get really pissed off and you quit out. And that's probably the worst thing that could happen to a Call of Duty game, online match, and that's kind of the bad rap it gets, is people quit out. I was playing Search and Destroy last night, and I ended up playing 1v5 because my team was quitting out, and I was having a great game to start, but then everybody quit out, and I was getting mad because I couldn't win, obviously, 1-on-5, and so it wasn't very fun. So number one is you got to have fun. You got to communicate with your teammates. I mean, if you want to hop on and play just a normal team deathmatch, whatever, to me that's fine. But if you're playing like an objective-based game mode, you should kind of have your mic plugged in, or at least watch where your teammates are and kind of work together in a little bit, because it makes the game a lot more fun. That's what it's supposed to be. You're not supposed to hop in and lone wolf, an uplink game, because that's not what it's supposed to be. You're supposed to throw the ball to each other and that kind of thing. And so another thing that goes with that is play with your friends online. If they're online, invite them to a game and play. Or when you're talking with your teammates, maybe you randomly make a friend and team up with him, because that's what makes objective game modes fun, and Search and Destroy fun and stuff like that. So if you play with your team, if you at least watch for your team or communicate with your team, you're going to have a lot better time. You guys are going to play a lot better. And if you lose, maybe you had fun on the way. Because when I get mad at Call of Duty or anything in life, that's when it's not fun anymore, and it's not a hobby. It just turns me mad, and it makes my day a little bit rougher. So I suggest you guys try to have fun with it, team up with teammates, and don't use ridiculous classes. And what I mean by this is, there's always a time for messing around, but if you're playing bad and you're not having fun, I have a tendency to switch to guns that I never use, or guns that you probably shouldn't use, and that's just going to make you more mad. You're going to play worse because everybody else is using the best guns in the game, and you're using the worst guns in the game, and you're just going to play worse. So I suggest not switching to ridiculous classes and not using those unless you're in the mood to have some laughs at your own deaths, because that's what's going to happen. And then lastly, don't quit out. I mean, people quit out of games all the time. I understand if you absolutely have to quit out, you have to go do something, that's fine, but you don't need to quit out if you're having a bad game. Stick it out and enjoy the rest of the game as best as you can, because you're screwing your teammates over. And this happens to me a lot. People quit out on me a lot, and I have a lot of good gameplays that go bad because my team quits out, and especially in objective game-based modes, which is what this is mostly directed at. If you want to win, stay in the game, have fun, and be excited, because objective-based game modes can be really fun once it goes down to the wire. Objective uplink, if you're tied 5-5, think of it as an actual sport game. You guys are tied up, and it can be intense and fun and exciting, and you shouldn't just quit out or smack talk your team. You got to try, and that's how you're gonna win. You're gonna win with positivity, and if all else fails, go play free-for-all. People in objective-based game modes don't want people who don't want to play. If you're going to sit there, slaying is great, don't get me wrong. If you're going to slay and you know how to do that and you're not going to play the objective, that's fine, but you can't have a full team of slayers. You got to have people who want to play the objective. So if you just want to go slay, go play team deathmatch and free-for-all. So those are my tips for winning, guys. Stay positive, communicate with your team. Always kind of give a little bit of effort, and don't quit out. Quitting out is probably the worst thing you can do, and it's just not going to make your COD experience fun if you're quitting out of every single game, because you're just going to get more and more mad. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the gameplay. I played pretty well, as you can see, but again, we lost. It was 4v6, 2 of our teammates quit out. So thank you for watching, guys. If you enjoyed, subscribe and like. Check out the video on the screen if you haven't seen it yet. Follow me on Twitter. Peace out, guys.